Hi everybody, I miss you all. It's been over a month. The people that working on boosting the channel, they like, it's been over a month, Misha. Where's the new video? It's not coming out. Well, there is more to it, and we're here today, not just to be talking things over, but to think things over once again. And we'll get to the reasons why toward the end of this video. The way I structured the video, because there is plenty of information. There is a 3 year since John was gone. God took him back in August 2022, and we are in August 2025 today. So I've had 3 years to reflect on things and to think things through, analyze, ask God for extra pieces of the puzzle to put the pictures together for myself first, so that I can then deliver to you. And I realize it's best that I see it clearly myself before I get in front of the camera to overload you with a bunch of information that makes no sense. So I put real effort to be to the point on the videos, but I would make sense if you're looking at the videos continuously from the beginning. I know it's kind of different from the different channels that's out there. You can just pick different video and move on with it. But what I'm doing is more as an unwritten book that we're continuously adding the chapters to. Eventually it's going to be written, but if you really wanted to get into it, I recommend to start from the Statue of Liberty back in October last year. And so because there's a lot of information to be covered, things that are bringing onto the table today, the science behind our creation that allows things in our creation, within our creation, to be on a good level, not on this other anti-life, destruction, and all this other. And those are the basics. Well, I didn't born knowing this. It took me about 10 years to get to this point. 7 years with John, and then 3 years myself to go through those experiences, and then to reflect on those experiences, and to get extra pieces, put it together, so you can see what I'm talking about. I would say buckle up. As usual, grab your coffee. You really have to follow. It's not going to work if you just start listening and phone ring and then you get distracted and you come back to it in 5 minutes. You really have to stay with it. Well, the cool thing is that now it's been 10 years worth of time, experiences that God pretty much walked me by the hand to answer my question. I asked him why things the way they are in his creation. When we got up to here, finding the negatives in my life, fighting all the obstacles in my life. And he had his own way to answer my question. And so we're gonna add this 20 minutes now. I started this essay last night, August 2nd, and continue this morning. Well, I can tell you, I use GPT, right? The AI system. So at first it was exciting. It was like, yeah, you're very concise, you're getting to the point, giving me some comments. Well, as we're getting a little bit deeper and deeper, it gets slower and slower. It feels like, AI is really not into revealing those true elements to you. Uh, so, and it just proved the point. There are systems in place that preventing you from learning truth, preventing you from feeling love and joy. Those are the three main things that the virus is working against. And as soon as I get to the point where I was talking about human energy and how it works scientifically in our creation, the chat GPT or whatever it is completely rewrote the story, skipping that whole subject, that whole paragraph about the energy and how that works. The reason I'm telling you this is just to get you to the point where you can clearly see, okay, you remember the movie Matrix #1, where Neo, he was rescued from the system and the artificial world, the systems, the technology was controlling humans. Well, it actually true. Systems controlling humans by manipulating their energy mode and energy field at every moment of the time, because it's for them just like natural gas for Europe. They need this resource to keep up with their creation. So all the systems in place today as AI, GPT or Grammarly, as soon as I get close to deep topic, Grammarly, for example, just erase the whole thing that I've been working on and put the smiley face like that. So I was like, okay, got it. I'm getting close. And then, like I said, Chat GPT yesterday was so excited, but then as soon as I get deeper into the topic, to pull you away from their manipulation to save you energy, there is a restriction. We're gonna rewrite the whole story. We're gonna skip the topic. We're gonna skip the subject. We're gonna delete it. So I already knew what I'm facing. So I was continuously saving the script in the doc file as I was progressing, and so I've had that file saved. That's how I was able to see, what a difference it made. But here is the recording. As again, we spent about 7 years with John. It's been 3 years on my own. I've been thinking about it a lot. There is a great purpose I sense that God put into the answers that He's giving me to give you, partially to free you. Most likely there are more reasons to that, but let's dive into it. As we're listening to your recording, I will be playing my role and have some photos and things to show you, to express my feelings and emotions with my mimics and stuff. And then toward the end, I will summarize. So again, it may seem like a very casual, but it is very deep, very serious, very powerful information that you're about to learn. And let's dive in. Let's check it out.
The universe is not random. It is intelligent, interconnected, and purposeful, and every human being plays a role in that design. Today, I want to offer a perspective that reveals a bigger picture for those willing to listen. What I'll be sharing is 80% practical knowledge, and only 20% drawn from books. This is not just theory, it's lived truth. If it doesn't resonate with you right away, that's okay. It may simply mean this message isn't for you, at least not yet. but some of you will feel what this is really about. And to you, I'm speaking directly to your heart. Even if just one person truly connects with this truth, it will have been worth sharing, because even one can have a significant impact on the collective. I believe this information will begin to spread with geometric progression, guiding more of us to choose life. As some of you already know, I've been building my tree service business here in Las Vegas. Along the way, I experienced something more than just everyday challenges. It felt like a strong, invisible force was working against me. I reached a breaking point. I looked up and asked God, why are things the way they are in your creation? That question wasn't just about my business. It was about life, purpose, and the deeper structure of the world around us. Shortly after I asked God that question, things didn't get easier. They got harder. Life seemed to push back even more. My family chose to leave for greener pastures, and with them, I lost two people who gave my life a deeper sense of meaning. Suddenly, they were gone. I had a choice, to collapse or to stand up and keep going. I chose not to let myself fall. I kept showing up for my business, one task at a time. I also added yoga and pool activities, anything that could help me spend less time sitting with myself. I kept moving forward, even if some days it was to stay standing. Looking back, it was a blessing that I was on the battlefield. When you fight long enough and win small victories, you begin to understand something. You don't let the enemy take the hill you've already claimed. That mindset brought intensity and purpose to my days. It gave the fight meaning. In time, constant reflection became unavoidable. I started analyzing everything. My pain, my choices, my role in all of it. And then one day, something shifted. I felt a wave of unexpected gratitude, not for what I had lost, but for what I had once been given. I had experienced family and connection, and I thanked the Creator for that, even if it didn't last long. And in that moment, I offered something in return. I said, God, if there is anything I can do to help, anything I can be useful for, please, feel free to use me. I chose to move out of my family's place, stepping into a new season of life with fewer emotional ties. That helped. It gave me space to breathe. Now, let's jump ahead to my time living in a house in Blue Diamond with my new girlfriend. But even there, things weren't smooth. I found myself facing challenges both in my work and at home. It felt like life was asking me to stay strong in every area. Completely unexpectedly, I found a book sitting on the kitchen table. It turned out to be a powerful spiritual tool, what I now call an antivirus for the reality we live in. It was a tool to transform karma, the science of the spoken word or violet flame. A few years later, I realized that if difficult times hadn't kept knocking on my door, I might never have looked for a tool like that, or chosen to use it. So, right after finding the book, I went through its pages and discovered some powerful statements. I decided to try applying this tool in my daily life. It might sound like a fairy tale, but the method was simple and surprisingly effective. I talk more about this in the video. A little about me. After using this tool for over a year, I met John. The next video will share how we met and what we did together in Las Vegas, working under God's guidance for about 7 years. I learned many things from John gradually, and most of it was mind-blowing. Little did I know at the time that I was meeting the Lion of Judah himself, one who had come in the Melchizedek priesthood to fulfill some major prophecies. Most of you may know John a little from the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. That film covered about 5 years of his life. But John was so much more than just the wolf. As I mentioned earlier, he was first the Lion of Judah, the one worthy to open the scrolls. We were entering a unique timeline, the period between two total solar eclipses, one in 2017 and the other in 2024. John began to explain to me the deeper meaning of this timeline according to God's calendar. This window of time began exactly 33 days after the Revelation 12 sign appeared in the heavens. What John shared with me was stunning. Before that sign appeared, the second coming of Christ was not yet possible. But from that day forward, it became possible any day. John's goal was clear: to do whatever it took to ensure that God would allow the second coming of Christ to happen. He was operating on an extremely high level, with a purpose that felt bigger than anything I had encountered before. I joined his team to help, but very quickly it became a question of who was helping whom. As John began bringing me up to speed on the things I needed to understand to win my battles, I gradually became a stronger warrior. Little by little, I started winning more and losing less in my creation, my business. The relationship with my girlfriend was going south, and I decided to end it. I was stepping into something much bigger. God took John back home in August 2022. After many days of working closely with him, I was left here to reflect on everything we had done, to try and understand what it was all about, and what we had truly accomplished during that time. That process of reflection didn't happen overnight. It came slowly. Over 3 years I spent analyzing things deeply, spiritually, and practically. As I am writing this, we are in August 2025. What follows are the conclusions I've come to after those years of seeking, testing, and walking this path. This is just a short description of the unwritten book that will follow. A book that will share the details, insights, and personal experiences that shaped this journey. My hope is not to convince you, but to invite you. After all of it, the battles, the lessons, the signs, and the silence, the biggest realization I've come to is this: it's all about energy, our ability, and our necessity to maintain the right kind of energy within ourselves is what keeps things in balance and in harmony in the creation we are living in. Every thought, every action, every intention either adds to the flow of divine order or works against it. We are not just observers here. We are participants in the energetic structure of reality. When we stay aligned, when we consciously choose to protect and uplift our energy and the energy around us, or another way of saying, when we maintain our feel mode in love or joy, we become co-creators in keeping this world good. I bring this postcard with me, which helps me share a simple example of what I'm trying to say here. On the postcard, it looks like a tree of life made of lights, some bright, some dim, and some barely visible against the black background. Each light represents a soul, a life, glowing at its own level of awareness and connection. And like that tree, we are all part of one living design. The brighter our light, the more we help enlighten the world. Our creation is self-sustained by design, and there are requirements within the Creator for a certain amount of collective light to be present at every moment. Another way to say, we're not just in creation, we are a main part of it, sons and daughters of God, each carrying responsibility. When we live in a way that allows life force energy to flow in abundance, things go well, even beautifully. But when we drop the ball, whether through lack of knowledge, distraction, or ignorance, things can shift quickly in the wrong direction, as is happening today. I've concluded the 10 Commandments of God. They are not just laws to follow. They are recommendations for how to live in a way that we emit the right kind of energy to sustain creation. The commandments are not meant to make us beat ourselves up for falling short. Instead, they serve as a measuring stick to show us how bright our light truly is and to understand love better. In my opinion, the first 2 commendations are the key. The other 8 are simply descriptions of what love is. Are you adding to the light, or are you creating what I call a dead structure in the energy? When destructive energy builds up, it disrupts the balance of life itself. But God loves the world so much that it forces him to send someone great, a powerful one, to adjust the flow so that life can continue on the planet. Think about it like this. When you turn off the light in a room, darkness fills the space instantly. It happens in less than a split second because space cannot remain empty. It will always be occupied. And we are the ones choosing what fills that space, life energy or anti-life energy. Our choices matter, and they ripple far beyond what we can see. When Jesus came, he took on the role of the leading light on the tree of life, to show us an example and teach us the basics of how to live aligned with divine energy. His sister, who chose to come in this time, reincarnated as Anastasia, the central figure in the Ringing Cedar of Russia series, provided us with essential puzzle pieces that humanity had struggled to connect for 2025 years. Together, their lives offer guidance and wisdom to help us understand our place and purpose within creation. Here is a part from the book about the energy men emit. The old man said, God created the cedar as a reservoir for the energy of the cosmos. A man in the state of love gives off an emission. In a fraction of a second, it reflects off the planet sailing above the person and once more reaches Earth, giving life to everything alive. The sun is one of the planets that reflects part of the full spectrum of this emission. Only emissions of the forces of light go from the person into the cosmos, and only a beneficial emission returns from the cosmos to Earth. A dark emission comes from someone abiding under the influence of malicious feelings. A dark emission cannot ascend, but instead falls deep into the Earth. After it is reflected off the bowels of the Earth, it returns to the surface in the form of volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and wars. The highest achievement of a reflected dark emission is the effect on man of its rays, which strengthen the malicious feelings directly inside him. The cedar lives for 550 years. Its millions of needles catch and accumulate light energy, its entire spectrum, day and night. During the cedar's lifetime, all the bodies that reflect the energy of the forces of light pass over it. Even a small cedar has more energy that is beneficial to man than all the man-made energy installations on Earth put together. The cedar takes in the energy that comes from man and through the cosmos, stores it, and at the right moment, gives it back. Gives it back when there is not enough of it in the cosmos, which means in man and everything living and growing on Earth. One encounters cedars, but very rarely, that store the accumulated energy but do not give it back. After 500 years of life, they begin to ring. That is how they speak, with their quiet ringing. That is how they signal for people to take them, to cut them down so that the accumulated energy can be used on Earth. And so this cedar has been asking with its ringing. It's been asking for 3 years. If it doesn't make physical contact with living people, then in 3 years it loses its chance to give up what it has accumulated through the cosmos, loses its chance to give it back to man directly. Then it starts burning the energy inside itself. This torturous burning and dying takes 27 years. Not long ago, we discovered a cedar like that. We determined it had already been ringing for 2 years, ringing softly, very softly. It might be trying to stretch its request out for a longer time, but it has only 1 year left. It has to be cut down and distributed to people. So God sent John at a critical time on Earth to adjust and guard the energy levels, to keep them good and balanced, to preserve life. Just like we rely on computer network administrators to protect and maintain complex systems, John's role was to oversee the spiritual energy network of our world, as I understand it. In times when humanity neglects maintaining its energy and good, when we go off course, just like in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, someone must step in to protect it. And if not, creation goes to a new cycle of destruction to start over again, which has happened several times over in the past. That someone is the one who is truly one with God, allowing God's energy to manifest itself in this plane through him on the levels necessary. The one who can maintain and increase the light to high levels to allow life to continue. To be direct and to the point, I'm skipping the detailed stories. Those will be explored fully in the book to come. Instead, I want to jump straight into the deeper science behind this topic. We all know about nuclear power plants that produce gigawatts of energy. This immense power is possible because the fuel is carefully maintained and controlled. In the business world, there's a saying, grow your balls. Men hold the life force liquid in a part of the body that requires a slightly different temperature to preserve and maintain the life force energy production. There is a reaction involved that women provoke in men or people we love. When we read scripture, it reminds us of who we truly are and awakens love, energy to flow. Love is the main ingredient in this reaction, the force that fuels and connects us deeply to life and creation. In other words, we must take responsibility for maintaining the life force fuel where it's supposed to be, because without it, the reactions won't be strong enough, There is a strong connection between a man's mental abilities and the function of his testicles. So the science shows that it requires the fuel, the provocation, and continuous maintenance. Because of a lack of knowledge about this simple truth, and due to various forces manipulating men every second to shirk their duty, many continuously remain in a low energy state, which directly impacts their mental state as well as reality around them. It's a common joke among women that men can't multitask or that men are like animals, or something along those lines. Today, in the creation we live in, it's like we're driving a car with a broken alternator, running solely on the battery, which is the ringing cedar trees that are just a few. As Jesus himself said, it is a dead end. Maintaining our emotional state in love or joy is the key, and having the correct elements in place to provoke that reaction is the second key. That's it. When we allow the misuse of energy, someone has to pay the price. It's like having a beer at the bar, knowing it was the only money meant for your kids to eat tonight. The Lion of Judah had big courage, big spiritual strength. God trained him for over 30 years to be able to do the job and to overcome every obstacle. I want to give you an example from my creation. When all the crews took days off, I had no choice but to overload this one crew standing still. He didn't succeed because of praise or support, but because it was his job, and he took it seriously. And even though there was very little joy in the mission, he did it. And once again, he paid the price, so that life could continue on planet Earth. I witnessed what it took for him to accomplish it. As a student of his, I took over the duty to keep the light high. There is a very accurate device on planet Earth, located in Yellowstone National Park. It's a geyser called Black Diamond Pool. This geyser erupts when negative energy begins to take the lead. Since the time John and I met and throughout the entire timeline between the total solar eclipses, it did not erupt once. To me, this was not a coincidence. It was confirmation. A reflection of energy being held in balance. A quiet signal that the work was not in vain. However, the same month of April, a week after we stepped out from the total solar eclipse timeline, which ended on April 8th, 2024, it erupted. When all the ingredients are in place, even one Son of God can provide an abundance of produced life force energy to allow balance to save creation or a city. When Abraham asked God if he would spare Sodom and Gomorrah if he found one righteous person in it, God walked away. He didn't say no, because he knew he would, but he also knew what it would take for one person to accomplish such a task. By following the teachings of John, it was proven that what one man can do, another man can do, and that we must stop depending on the great ones and become great ones ourselves. Learn about this simple truth and apply it. This is what I just shared with you. It surely answered my question to God. Why are things the way they are in your creation? Solution. Stay in the feeling mode of love or joy and protect it. Guard this feeling against the obstacles. Keep all the ingredients in place for the energy reaction to be on the high or closer to it. Learn to maintain it as Solomon or Dave did, or many of the king's warriors.
There's this energetic, very accurate meter on the planet Earth located in Yellowstone. We talked about it in the previous videos. It's called Black Diamond Pool. It's a geyser. I have a Black Diamond Pool eruption graph here, just to bring the point home to everybody. So it did not erupt since 15th of April 2016 until May 7th 2024. So for 8 years and 24 days that Black Diamond Pool geyser did not erupt. For the whole period of time between two total solar eclipses, it did not erupt once. John did his job. He balanced the energies within the creation. We was the power plant. A lot of you didn't pick up on it. That was monitoring what we was doing, and little by little God revealing to me little extra pieces, and so I'm able to share with you. And I'm hoping that sometime very soon we will be all on the same page, understanding. Everything that I learned was enough for me to close this timeline without black diamond pool erupting. So it was a success. But the timeline closed at April 8, 2024, and in the first week of May, it was already erupting. So back to the point, I just wanted to go through the key points here. I'm not going to be jumping back and forth. So we're talking about the energy and the significance of the energy within our creation as us, sons and daughters of God, being co-creators, helping to produce the energy levels to be able to have this life force to sustain creation. So we wanted to maintain the feel mode in love or joy against the obstacles. And I know a lot of you not accustomed to that. It's like things happen, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna curl up and die. So doesn't matter what happens, you wanted to learn to stay in that mode. Maintaining fuel in the balls for man. It is important, man, maintaining balls to be on a fuller level than on an empty, because it's an important part in that science that add to the chemistry that boosts that energy to emit to help sustain creation. Then violet flame 20 minutes per day, essential. No bloodshed. I know some of us not in control of it, but there are some of you that are in control of it, and I'm looking at you right now. No bloodshed. Eruptions on the black diamond pool increased by a lot. I just read about it. Stay closer to God's bar and the energy in the way of following 10 commandments of God. Do not start the day with news or social media, and if you wanted to get into it, do it after 12. This is it. I'll see you next time. Thank you.